What's way more dangerous than most people think? People know that rip currents are dangerous, but don't think about them as a real threat often enough. Towing a stuck car with a chain. There is a list of people who have died from having the chain come through the back window and kill them. Listening to loud music using earbuds, or really any headphones. Having permanent hearing damage sucks. Moose. Bigger threat to people up here than bears. Being knocked unconscious. Lots of popular media makes it seem like a minor thing that an average person can shrug off after a short period. In reality, if you are ever knocked out, then you have suffered brain damage. It's possible there might not be any lasting effects, but it's a serious injury and you 100% need to see a doctor if it ever happens to you. Doing nothing for a long period of time. It gets addictive and it's the hardest thing ever to get back on your feet. Eating a lot of spinach. Believe it or not, people have had kidney failure from 3 spinach smoothies in a day. This is due to the high levels of oxalic acid. Blocking your nose when you sneeze. Though it's rare, you can damage blood vessels in your eyes and nose. You can rupture your eardrum. And you can even have an aneurysm. A kind of random one. But don't eat uncooked slugs or snails. They can have parasites that will make you paralyzed and eventually kill you. An Australian kid died a couple of years ago from it. An awful way to go. Living alone. If you get seriously injured or ill at home and you're unable to reach a phone, your chances of survival are much lower than if you have at least one other person in the household. Deep cuts on your fingertips. They are called felons and can infect your bloodstream. Clean them out, and if you see a red line traveling up your arm, get yourself to the ER immediately. My neighbor almost died from this when she cut her finger on her violin string. Palm trees. They are so much heavier than they look and their branches can kinda just fall off without warning. Walking downstairs with your hands in your pockets. Never ever do it. Especially not drunk. A fall down even 1 or 2 stairs with no hands to catch you can break your neck. I've seen a video of a man tripping and falling down 4 stairs, hitting the top of his head on the wall and dying right there in the stairwell. Holding a sneeze in. There have been cases of ruptured brain aneurysms and throats, as well as collapsed lungs. No recorded deaths though, according to the good old Google. Hiking in the woods with earpieces in. Even in a suburban area. It seems innocent enough. But not being fully aware of your environment can lead you to not notice snakes or coyotes. Living beyond your means. Always having to leverage assets and become financially overextended in order to have things here and now. Glade plugins. My childhood friend's house burned down because of one of them. Also, a plug-in battery charger burned down a customer's garage. Not getting regular check UPS. I almost died because I had an internal hemorrhage that was slowly killing me. I was so depleted of iron and blood that the nurses thought my vitals were written in wrong because I should have been dead. I needed 3 pints of blood in one sitting. Coconuts. Coconuts kill 300 times more people a year than sharks, since only 16 attacks occur per year and 1 death every 2 years, while coconuts kill 150 a year, from falling from trees. Not taking antibiotics to kill a sinus infection. Kinda seems obvious, but 13Y/OME didn't think so, and that's how I ended up almost dead. Water currents. Riptides in the ocean and eddy currents in streams. We have some river canyons with signs describing all of the ways you can die in the river, and people still die swimming there. Roosters are dicks. Make sure you're on their good side. Mine has bitten and scratched me more times than I can count. Mold. It can be poisonous. Make you hallucinate, and eating it can seriously mess with your body. Wild animals. Most people know that they are dangerous, but they don't think about how dangerous they are. An example of this would be something small like a rat. They carry diseases and can destroy stuff if not taken care of. The ocean. Both for swimming/surfing/ etc. and for boating. It is 100% not just a big swimming pool or lake. Human beings are in a completely alien environment as soon as they step off the sand or dock. And our perceptions about how things ought to play out no longer matter. The ocean is completely indifferent to human reasoning and even to human mortality. I'm teaching a good friend to sail right now. And he's naively ambitious as far as sailing long distances in a very small boat. I wasn't joking at all when I chided him by saying, "You haven't been scared enough times yet." The reason I'm so conservative in and around the ocean is because I've developed a healthy, totally reasonable fear of it over the course of my life. Anybody who isn't a little afraid of the ocean hasn't spent enough time around it. Source: Tug Captain, lifelong surfer, and lifelong recreational sailor. Please, if you're going out on a boat, make sure you at least have a first aid kit, a fire extinguisher, a working knowledge of how to call for help on a VHF radio, an anchor to stop you from drifting into rocks if the engine fails, and PFDs for everyone. Situations you've never even imagined can arise so quickly on even a short outing. Crossing train tracks when a train is coming. People do it every day, so clearly don't realize how dangerous it is, until they are hit by the train and are killed. This is one of those things you wouldn't expect on this list. But if people realized how dangerous it actually was, people wouldn't tempt their fate each day to save a few minutes. Drinking alcohol. Not even getting drunk. I have cirrhosis mostly because I love beer, whiskey, and food. I now have incredible pain, anxiety, and have to take meds that are awful. The only fix is a transplant. The catch is, you have to be almost dying to get a chance at one. Enjoy. Not every day. Not too much. Avoid the binge. Good people. Trying to repair power supplies or old CRT TVs, monitors. If you know what you're doing, you might not die if you don't get your affairs in order. These devices, even unplugged, can release enough electricity to kill you instantly. When I was learning computer repair, my instructor called them widowmakers, and to avoid repair of them. Road works. Y'all duckers gotta stop speeding past my elaborate road cone setup, because a hard hat and orange vest will not save me if you go amiss. Hypothermia. If your clothes get soaked and you can't dry out and warm up, temps in the 50s F13C can kill you. This is how people going on day hikes get killed. Something happens and they can't get back to their car/lodge. The weather changes and they can't find shelter and they get wet. They die of exposure. My scoutmaster taught us boys the hard way by teaching us the importance of planning. He made us traverse a stream. And while our packs didn't get wet because we were carrying them above our heads, we did get soaked up to about our chest in cool water. The temperature was around 55 F that day, which is not that cold and kinda nice. After we got to the other side, you would not believe how quickly we got cold, especially if there is no cover from the wind. And within a few minutes, our hands became useless and we couldn't start a fire. The shivering got so bad, it was incapacitating. The cold set in fast. We learned that day that we needed to make sure our clothes remained dry, even if that means stripping down butt naked to cross the stream. And that we needed to have fire already made and a smoldering ember ready to go along with tinder so that we could get a fire going quickly, that is if we didn't have matches or a fire steel. So he taught us that we should cross the stream, put our dry clothes back on, start a fire to warm up and dry out, and immediately start working on shelter. Hard lessons don't leave you, even after 30 years. Camels can be pretty dangerous. They can sometimes even decapitate people by biting their heads off. Bandwagoning. When everyone basically adopts a hive mind and everyone collectively does the same thing even if it's wrong.